Hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for listening to this video and kind of watching and tuning in, I guess, in a way. I really thought it was important to go with this format other than just doing another email. You guys have gotten so many emails and I just didn't want to do that again. I wanted to present this in a video format and make it as personal as possible. But I know that calling a meeting and have everybody coming to a meeting at this time really wouldn't be feasible, so I think this is the best route to go. So that's why I thought this video format would be the best route. So first thing I want to do is just start off with a prayer. So if you guys will join me in prayer. Dear Lord, I just thank you for today. I thank you for giving us life. I thank you for giving us the ability to live another day, Lord. And I ask that you just be with us in these uncertain times. Help, lead, guide, and direct us as we navigate these times. Give us wisdom, give us discernment, and help us to be able to make the correct decisions as we move forward as a team and as a company. In your name I pray, amen. I just want to first thing say is that we're going to be okay. And I know there's so much uncertainty and there's not a lot of clarity as what's going on right now, but we're going to be fine. We're positioned to be able to handle this. And as this video progresses, we'll kind of get into that on the back end of things. First thing I want to talk about are gloves. I ordered gloves for every store. You'll be getting them on your next truck order. I ordered colored gloves for the register and for cleaning. So you're either going to get a purple pair or a black pair. So be looking for those on your next truck order. I talked to Tawana today. Those got placed, so you should be getting those. Secondly, Martin has reached out to UniFirst or Uniserve. I get their names mixed up all the time. But we're getting hand sanitized stations for the lobbies. So we're finalizing that. He reached out today, and we're just waiting on an email to hear back from them. So we'll be getting those for the lobbies as well. So just we'll kind of update you on that as that progresses. I know there's been a lot of questions about store hours. I just want to go ahead and say we're not adjusting store hours. The only reason we'll adjust store hours at this point in time is if it's mandated by our local governments and city officials. If we have to adjust store hours at that moment in time, we will, but we are not adjusting store hours. It's really important that we just keep maintaining what we're doing and we're able to serve the customers in the most regular way possible. So if we limit our store hours, that's going to go ahead and start a snowball effect that we're not going to be able to get back. So we're going to maintain our store hours as normal. So that's really important. No adjustments there. Schedules. We do not want you to adjust your schedules for this week. Keep the schedules the same. And what you need to do is have the team members that you have on, have them cleaning constantly. If you're slow and sales are lower than normal, have them always cleaning and sanitizing. The more we can get the public to see that we're taking steps to ensure that everything is clean and everything's sanitized, the better. So make sure you're utilizing the team that you have in place for this week to clean and sanitize nonstop. As far as schedules for next week, I know we usually want those submitted by Wednesday. We're going to shift those, submit those by Saturday. That way we can get a good gauge of the entire week sales up to Saturday to be able to project what we can do next week. So we don't want to get the schedules on Wednesday, have them submitted by Saturday, and we can have them posted by Sunday. Just make sure to inform your teams, hey, you're going to get your schedules a little later this week with the circumstances. So keep in mind, this is a day-to-day thing and it's constantly changing. So we're going to have to stay fluid and be able to adjust on the fly. So that's why we're going to push schedules as late as we can for this week. When you're doing your schedules for next week with the dip in sales, it's important to remember, make sure you're taking care of the team members who you value the most. Make sure that you're putting those people in a position to be successful. You know, just the reality is that with the dip in sales, there's going to be fewer hours to give. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the people who are really invested in our company and trying their best to ensure that we are successful. We want to make sure we're taking care of them. So prioritize your schedules to the people who you know are helping you grow and helping us stay sustainable and helping us be as successful as possible. I know that's going to be tough, but we want to make sure we're taking care of them first. Dining room and restrooms. Okay. The dining room, just like in the email that I sent and the webinar, is closed. So it's only takeout orders from tomorrow on until we have a change, okay? but we are not going to close the restrooms like they've said in their webinar. Me and Martin kind of discussed it, and we feel like it's kind of counterproductive if a customer wants to wash their hands and they can't go in the restroom. How are they going to wash their hands? So we're going to leave the restrooms open, so no change there. So the dining room is closed, takeout only, but the restrooms are open. If someone needs to use the restroom, that's okay. We are not doing signs, so no signs. We don't want to post signs on windows, anything like that. We want to make sure to communicate to our customers. The more chances we have to communicate and to ensure to them, hey, we're taking these steps to make sure that we're not going to spread the virus, the better. And a sign just doesn't communicate that as effectively as a team member can or a general manager can. So make sure that we're communicating that to the customers and we're not putting up signs. So no signage. We want to make sure to over-communicate. Communication is key right now. Over-communicate to your customers, over-communicate to the guests in the store. Hey, this is what we're doing. These are the precautions we're taking to ensure that we're good. Okay, so that's really important. Here is a big opportunity that we have. We have an opportunity to execute our online orders and call-in orders and third-party orders to the highest level. This is an area where sometimes we kind of fall flat and we miss the mark. But we can focus 100% of our energy on making sure that these orders are executed at a very high level. So we have to execute with excellence in these areas. This is an opportunity to serve our customer base. You know, we have a obligation to ensure that we give them the kind of experience they would get coming into our store through an online or third-party venue. So ensure that your teams are locked in, you're making orders right, you're getting orders done on time. If we have to get to a point where we have to do curbside delivery and take orders out, we have to make sure that we're primed and ready for that as well. So just be aware of that and be ready to be fluid and change on the spot, but we have an opportunity to really execute and raise our game. You can use this as a training experience for your team. So make sure you're capitalizing on that opportunity. That's really, really important. And so I kind of outlined those things. Those are more specific to our market. I put a little email together with some of those main tips, but the main thing is the recap of the webinar I sent. A lot of information is in that email. And so make sure you read that and get familiar with that email. It's really important to look over. And then last thing in closing, this is really the reason why I wanted to do this video, is to offer encouragement. You know, I think it's so important to understand as leaders in our stores, it's our job to maintain a calm disposition and provide stability to our teams. You know, that's what our job as leaders is on a day in and day out basis, is to provide stability. But now more than ever, we have to provide that for our teams. So if we're calm and we're able to maintain that sense of stability through our stores, it's only going to help. So there's no reason to freak out. You don't need to be discussing any crazy theories or conspiracies with your team. Don't do any of that stuff. We have to make sure that we're creating a culture and environment of stability. Our teams are going to have questions, and we need to be able to answer those questions the best we can. If you don't know an answer to that question, please reach out to me or Ryan or Martin or Clark, and we will get them an answer as quickly as we can. If you do not know the answer to that question. So please make sure that we're not ignoring our team members when they have questions. One other thing I want to encourage you is that although our sales are dipping right now, you have to understand that we are equipped to handle these situations. We negotiate very strong leases on our stores. So our rent factors are very good in so many of our stores. So I know some of the sales that you're seeing are not what you're used to seeing in some locations, but that doesn't mean that there's not business to manage. That doesn't mean that there's not sales to manage and that you cannot make money and that you cannot have a bottom line. You know, I think about the growth we've experienced as a company, and we've been very blessed to be in this season of growth. But there were times where some of the sales that we're seeing now would have been good sales. You know, so don't get discouraged or think or give up or say, well, whatever, let's just throw our hands up and we can't do anything. You can still manage your business and you can still have a profit in your store and you can still get a bonus with the sales that I'm seeing today and yesterday. So as the weeks go, we have to adjust from that point on. But because we're we're very bold on the asks that we make in our leases and we get those rent factors, we're positioned to be able to be successful and have clean and good bottom lines, even with the dip that we're seeing in sales. So don't get discouraged on the dip in sales. You still can manage your business and you still can get a bottom line. So that's really important to be encouraged in that area. Second thing, we keep our bank accounts for each store very well stocked up with reserve funds. So if there is a situation like this, we have cash flow that we can access. So we do not run our bank accounts down low. I think we may have spoken about this a couple times, but it is for an emergency fund. So if there's a situation where we have to close our restaurants, we have reserves that we can pull from. And I'm believing that we're not going to have to close our restaurants. I fully believe that. And I think that's what's going to happen. But just to kind of give you that other sense of encouragement, all of our stores have bank accounts where we have that reserve cash set aside for situations. We've always equated them to power outages, or maybe there's a huge hurricane or there's a giant snowstorm, those kinds of things. We never really said virus, but now that it's here, this is another reason why we have those reserves built up. So take encouragement in that as well. And the last thing I wanted to share, and I know that we pray before our meetings, and I know that maybe not everybody has a faith, but I do, and it's really important to me. And I just kind of want to share something that has been helping me get through it, and I've talked to Clark today about it a little bit. But there's just two scriptures that I wanted to share from the Bible that I think really help, and they've helped me a lot because I can be very cynical and I can be very doubting sometimes, and these scriptures have actually helped elevate the way I think about stuff. So Deuteronomy 30:19 says, "I call heaven and earth to witness against you today. I place before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life so that you and your children will live." And then the other one is Proverbs 18:21. "Words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit, you choose." And those scriptures, they mean so much to me in this time because we have the power to give life. We have the power to choose life over death. We have the power to give words that give life, and then we have the power to give words that kill. And so I just think of our core value of attitude, and that's where we have to really come in and position ourselves to have positive attitudes. Make sure we're using positive language. Make sure that we're pressing forward in a positive manner. We have the ability to change this. We have the ability to change the mentality behind it. And if we position our teams in the right place and give them opportunities to be successful, they will be successful. But if we're constantly using negative language and we're always just downing what's going to happen and always just living in fear, nothing's going to come from that. So don't live into the fear. Don't be a part of that. Change your mentality and shift it to being positive. Control what you can control, and we're going to get through this as a team. And that's just the bottom line. We have to work together. And if we remain positive and we're continuing to serve each other and serve our customers with joy in our hearts, we're going to be okay. And that we're going to bounce back from this and we'll be fine. So just remain positive and keep moving forward. And I just want to close this in prayer. And I just want to let all of you guys know I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for what you guys do day in and day out and how hard you work. And I know that we wouldn't be in positions to be successful without you guys. And I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart about how hard you work and everything that you do on a daily basis. And so I'm just going to close this in prayer. And then, day by day, we'll take this and we'll adjust where we need. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this team. I thank you for this company. I just thank you for the people that are within this company, all of our team members. I think we have around 200 people that work in this company. And Lord, I ask that you just give us protection. I ask that you just give us wisdom. I ask that you just give us discernment as we progress through this time, Lord. And I just want you to give peace and comfort to each of our general managers and their families. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty right now. I know there's a lot of things going on. How am I going to get childcare for my kids so I can go to work? How am I going to be able to pay my bills? How is it going to affect us long term? How am I going to retain our staff? How am I going to get a bonus? And I just ask that you just give people peace and that they get that peace from you, Lord. And I ask that you just continue to breathe life into our company, breathe life into each one of our team members, and let there be an awakening so people can understand that it's not just us that we have to rely on, that we can rely on you and your wisdom, Lord. And I just thank you so much for everything that you've done for us and all that you're going to do for us. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this was good. And I got to be honest, it was kind of weird talking to a camera. But hey, if you've never seen my house, this is it. So there you go. All right. See you guys.